the notification bell button at mag-join sa Gilas Pilipinas Basketball Facebook group.
Make sure you take care of business. Even though it's away, Adelaide 36ers look really good. Last week against Sydney Kings going down by 3.
Who wins?
Phoenix, too much firepower.
Goats?
Phoenix.
Oh, a little hesitation and we're away.
No hesitation. No hesitation.
Okay. Here is Craig on his return. Cambesto's big year continues. Dense bet by Leartha. That's going to be fun to watch. As will this be? Mitch McCarron. Besto, little left-hand floater.
I tell you what, though, I'd love to see Mitch McCarron be the old Mitch McCarron. When Mitch McCarron played in cans. I want him to be aggressive. Go after Mumford. Get Mumford in foul trouble. Take control of this thing.
Johnson with his first rebound of the night. On a Friday night, across the nation, Hungry Jacks NBL. Both jerseys. We'll talk a lot about the Indigenous round and the jerseys and what it means for so many people, but straight up, first thoughts, they look outstanding.
Well, all of them across the league too, but first glimpse of the Indigenous round, favourite round of the year by far. They look spectacular. The stories are even better than that. We'll get touch into that a little bit later.
Mumford, a little down on how he started the year. This man, Broncos takes a little bump, can't get it to go. Changes too big inside. He's able to get the first points for Phoenix.
If he can stay out of foul trouble, could be a long night for the 36ers.
That's going to be an offensive foul. Daniel Johnson just leads right into Ryan Brockhoff there. And you're right, and Ken Besto is really, he got me terrific on the glass. Just does all the little things. He's missed the fundamental of the NBL. He uses his body to try and get the position. My biggest concern again is Ken Besto, who's been outstanding, is he's only playing small spurts. You know, either calls for a sub or they're sitting down just to try and get some rest. By far the most consistent player this season.
Creek, guarded by McCarron. Double team comes, leaves Brockhoff wide open. That's dangerous, and you talked about wanting Mitch McCarron to be a bit more aggressive and confident. We are seeing that from that man in the last couple of weeks, Coach.
Absolutely. But why would you leave the best shooter that wide open on the floor?
Well, it looked a little bit like their scout. In the first play of the game, they went under 2 stagger screens, and he missed an open look, and then you leave him open on the double. He's going to make you pay more often than not. I know he starts out being a great shooter. The ball is Cam Besto. Fade away there. He hasn't been shooting the lights out. But again, I think Ryan Brockhoff's really 1 or 2 games away from breaking out of that, and then everybody's in great trouble.
Here he is for 3. Again, that's a little short. He came in mid-season last year on the back of quarantine and all the rest of it, and didn't quite get to. Takes a little bump. There's Johnson, who looks like he's hurt himself too there. But it feels like he's more comfortable now, and he gets more uncomfortable almost every single minute he plays. And this is the Ryan Brockhoff we expected to see when he signed at Southeast.
Absolutely. But then on top of all of that, he's going to the glass like a big man. Yeah. How many offensive rebounds does he get in a game?
I mean, it's credit to him. When his shooting statistics have been so low to have it still a positive impact on the game. It's not what we saw last season when he came in late. He struggled to shoot the ball and he kind of disappeared in a lot of games because of that. He's found a way to still have that positive impact, and Daniel Johnson, Mr. Consistent over the course of his career in terms of putting the ball in the basket for the Adelaide 36ers.
Another man who's going to have to stand up and continue to deliver at the highest calibre. Isaiah Humphries in that bad news, and his Adelaide team still searching, or at least have an import slot, which is an ongoing conversation. Mumford uses his body to give himself a little bit of space, and he's able to get the floater to go.
That's tough.
Early days, Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Second on the ladder, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. 5-9 Adelaide as they try to keep those playoff chances alive. He's best up. Gets G in the air. Great play by the veteran. And that is exactly why it continues to boggle the mind. For the last 2 years, been Hawley, he's the last man signed.
Well, the reason he's the last man signed is because we know he's injury prone, and so often he misses so many games because of that. But they took a chance on the Adelaide 36ers and it's paid off dividends. He's really rewarded them for that opportunity. He's played well. Yeah, really good awareness, Joe. Doesn't have to do that. I know Besto created the space, but just got to stay straight up with your length and your height. Try and disrupt that shot.
I'm with you, Cam. Why would he be the last person trying when you can't?
I understand, Coach, that he's had his injury issues
I
and there's
don't care if
always
he has
issues.
one leg.
I'm with you 100%.
I don't care if he's got a broken leg and a cricket arm.
You're on the side of getting Cam Bairstow early and you ride with him and his talent as you do. Sunday Dench wrapped up. 144. Mitch Creek. Cheek trying to fire it inside.
I do like the LA 36ers going at Cam Bairstow against Joe Chi. They know the bigs in general for the Phoenix are a bit foul prone. Try and put them in those positions early and see how they respond.
Shot clock into single figures. Brokoff wants to take a right and Johnson got him in the air. Beautifully done. Little help defense from Withers was probably enough. His aggression already 4 shots tonight.
There's another one.
That's what I spoke about. He can stay out of foul trouble. They look a whole lot better, but
If he can stay out of foul trouble consistently, you're talking about them being a legitimate contender. They are. But the problem right now I have with this, he picks up a lot of fouls, a lot of cheap ones, and he's not only they change the way they play. They bring in Brandon Ashley as the backup big, just as, if not more, foul prone.
It's a big if. The question is, and you already said, Halls, you said this on the last play. He actually was going to have Daniel Johnson to take a tough 1-foot floater over a wingspan that exceeds 7 foot. You don't need to put the arm down for the block.
Well, he doesn't, and he also, he can't be guarding Daniel Johnson. Daniel Johnson is so crafty at drawing fouls against everyone. We saw it already against Mitch Creek. He knows that. He knows you picked up one foul before, so he can go right at you like he did there. And here comes Brandon Ashley, who, with she having 2 fouls, really important he can stay out of foul trouble.
Creek. Guarded by Johnson, here's Mumford. Shot clock down, Tate. He's going to need to get the work off at Ashley's screen. Got Bairstow on the mismatch. Has him dancing. Moves away. Kept alive. And they are fading in. Throws it to the arms of Daniel Johnson. Now McCarron. 2 on 1. Flicks it to Bairstow. Great hands, Mumford. Comes off the size 13 Knights and will stay with the Phoenix.
great hands. Great hands. 2 on 1 though, you gotta score here. So you gotta keep going to the basket. You gotta score. Those are the ones that hurt.
That's the one where everybody knows which McCann's going to pass first. One more dribble, try and draw Mumford. Then if the little dump off's there. Otherwise, just goes an athlete.
One more dribble and get to the basket. You're gonna get 5 and make a play.
Sotto.
David ends up at Liam, but he gets a wide open 3. So great defensive play, ends in a broken play, which ends in a 3. How often do we see that, Copes?
Probably every game.
Here's McCarron. He needs to find a little bit of form. There's that man as well. Withers for 3. Creek goes right back at him at the other end, uses the right, kisses it off the window.
Bully ball right there. Bully ball.
He's asking for a travel, no trouble there. He just had a little bit of a bite on the shoulder fake, really, to top the 3 from Mitch Creek.
Here's McCarron. Johnson's going to face up. Wants to take the smaller Brokoff.
Okay.
Well, it's had 2 big plays since coming into the ball game.
Okay, Cam.
Creek the other end, right back at you. 2-man flush.
Okay, fellas.
Also need these ribs for the rest of the game. Sotto, though, just putting a lid on it. And then Mitch Creek, that's too easy. Straight line drive.
An entertaining start on a Friday night to kickstart the Hungry Jacks NBL in a big weekend. Withers straight out, can't finish it this time, takes a little bump. Creek got it, and that's the evolution of Mitch Creek. It's turned him into a very good player to one of the best in the NBL.
One thing you can't afford is for him to get going.
He's got 7 early. Sotto, great pass inside. Daniel Johnson able to roll it home. But the big man's feeling good.
Well, he is. If you're Brendan Ashley, why are you biting on that shot play from Cross Solo three? That's getting down. Goaltending there. That's what I believe he's going to take one for him this season. Have a look at this. It's great. It's just one drive. It's easy shot. Stay down on that. It's great first half from outside. It's really easy too. Little dump off pass.
The lead is 5. Mitch Craig with 9, leads all scorers. Early days against his forwards. Here's McCarron, shot one down to 6. Johnson knows it, that's a 5, 25, full, able to run it home.
8 points already. Daniel Johnson with highlighted. He's on the defense getting against Mitch Creek. At least they run now. Just got point for point. Okay. Let them both go at each other.
Nothing might come home. I'm sure he still has a lot of fans in the audience.
He's had a great start. He's got 12. Johnson, right back at him for 3.
Right now, back to Mitch Creek. Shot for shot. Both in the double figures already.
And the Midford is worse. 3 turns, then the second one. They get the goal. Johnson for his 3rd strike. And the Adelaide Entertainment Centre's going nuts.
So something about games that coach commentators, no defense play. Daniel Johnson, 14 points. Only missed one free throw.
And averaging just under 15 on the season. He's got 14 in the first 7 minutes here on a Friday night.
Well, the first one you saw, Mitch Creek closed out, but he's hands down. Now John's going to rise up and shoot it.
Somebody like to see that ball go in the hole. You make that next one. I'm taking the next one. I don't care where I am.
Jamie Perlman's in control. Let's have a listen.
Some of those strike, they're going to show guys get underneath. Some show guys get under. What's up? Yeah, we want to take it out of your set. We're going to get out of it, force it wide. Okay, that stuff's there. Wide! Away! Wide! Away! You got the downstream. Curl! In the back front or curl! Okay? Wide! Get that back screen! Okay, wide away, here we go!
First time out in control, the Adelaide 36 is Jamie Perlman, standing coach. And Daniel Johnson's got him off to a nice start. He's got 14. Creek, as you can see, 12. And the 2 former teammates are going at it. And Cope, I'll get up before I let Peter Hawley speak. How would you go hitting 3 straight threes and then going to the bench?
That's not going to happen.
Well, it happened. It's happened right there.
It must be the number 21, because that happened. It did happen enough weight. It must be the 21.
Oh, we talk about that all the time. Someone hits a 3 and sits down, but usually 3 in a row. Well, let's talk about the other 36 stats. So, on the season, Dusty Hanners, who just entered the game, he scored 20 plus 4 times. Daniel Johnson 3 times. Sunday Depth once, and that's it. The only team that has less 20-point scorers this season, as Mitch Creek fills up again, is Cairns with 7. He's looking for other guys to put points on the board, but just haven't found it consistently enough.
Turangi in for his first minutes. Harris likewise for the 36 of Soto's had a great start, but straight in to Mitch Creek.
And that's 2 on 3.
That will be foul number 2. Didn't quite get across. He's got 14 in the first quarter, have to take a seat as well. Chi as well already has the 2, as we can see there. But an entertaining start and a great start by both Mitch Creek and Daniel Johnson with 14 each.
We saw Adelaide position on the ladder. Sotto misses that one. This has been the worst first half of the season for the Adelaide 36ers in terms of record since 2015. So
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think a lot of it has been obviously their team makeup. Isaac Humphries, 1, not being healthy, misses both, and 2 now being rubbed out. It's a huge out. This man, before he got hurt last season, was an MVP contender. So that's going to change the way they go about things. So the good thing about that 2015 season, they ended the season 13 wins and 1 loss. Now they know how to turn things around. Good pass.
Great pass by Karen. Harris couldn't finish. Now they're going to push the other way. It's a 5-on-4. Tarangi was able to attack the rear. It'll stay with the Phoenix on the bench. What did they do that year? So they finished on top of the ladder. What year was this, Pete?
2015.
That wouldn't have been their minor premiership year.
That was a good hand there by Dusty Hanners.
Can you see this team doing that?
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
This is true. There's Ashley. And it's got one.
Also going to lift him. Gets called for the foul as well. And you mentioned they still have that import spot up their sleeve.
Would you bring an import in now, Pete?
I think soon, absolutely. I think if it's find someone enough, quick enough. That's going to be a blood roll here for Dusty Hanners, who's caught one in the face. And you mentioned Mitch McCarron. I think it's been a big talking point all season. One of his better games looked good when Dulfamire was starting in the one. And Mitch McCarron, you said already in this quarter, brings the ball up, gets him into offense. Okay, they're trying to go at Joe Chi. Once he passes the ball up, doesn't see it again. If it does, it's late shot clock, got to make a play happen.
Lennon. McCarron loses it for a split second. Would you? Import?
Depending on the win-loss today. If they win today, yes, I would look at bringing another import in. But if you lose, it's pretty hard to make that top four. I would probably just give my guys, the guys on the bench, a little bit more time. But speaking of Mitch McCarron, he hasn't even attempted a shot yet. You got to look at the basket, Mitch. You got the ball in your hands. Be aggressive.
Miller's no good.
Good energy from
Gets the
Harris.
line by Harris. Great pass, Sotto taken straight by Glidden. He's had them 24 points last week. Had the hot hand. Late in that big win. Ryan and Sotto, great defense. And in the end, Adam had to try and blindly pitch it out straight out of court for the Phoenix.
Look a bit disjointed on the offensive end. The Phoenix good hands from Cam Glidden. Running and cut Sotto. I love it. Get a guy against sort of there, just to go off 2 feet into his body, then you might be able to draw some contact. If you go up in one, take that hit and then fade away, it's going to be hard. But without Mitch, absolutely. Without Mitch Creek on the floor, their offense just hasn't flowed as well in the half court. It's got 14 of the 24 points.
Same as that way.
Back on now as we're into the game. 15-second differential between the shot and game clock. Ditch 3. Harris again on the offensive glass. Great job. Energy since coming off the bench has been great. And in the end, kept it alive. Withers was able to tip it in.
Get a sense there, Brandon Ashley. Not getting too physical, doesn't want to get early fouls.
Shot clock is off. Active 2-man gap, and Ashley gives it to a great little pocket pass. And Ashley was able to lay it in, and that'll end the first quarter in Adelaide. Only shot Daniel Johnson felt like missing was a half-time heave. But it's a 1-point lead for the Phoenix, 26. The 36ers, 25. So the great game of basketball and the wonderful league that is the NBL.
Big test here for Brandon Ashley guarding Daniel Johnson. We know he's hot, but also Brandon Ashley, as I mentioned at the end of the first quarter, just looked like he was really trying to not get too physical underneath. Didn't want to pick up any early fouls as Hanners throws and strokes the crowd.
Speaking of the crowd, and you've played here, Coach, 2 years, you're a South Australian Wolves. Well, they aren't having a great year. They just continue to get there in their droves of 36ers.
Very smart crowd, very enthusiastic, very passionate crowd down in Adelaide. Win or lose, they will come to watch the 36ers. And that's what makes basketball great down there.
Brokoff couldn't find it. Ends up in the hand of Ashley. Brokoff hitting the glass again, which has become his specialty in the last month or so. Here's Hanners. Great pass. McCarron with the 2-man flush. Great setup by Dusty Hanners. And McCarron has his first bucket of the night.
Let's hope that gets him going.
Again, just playing off the ball. That's what I was talking about a little bit. You play the two, let him see the ball in a different part of the offense. He tees one up. That's long. Can't land it with the offensive rebound. And a little physicality. A little hit from the captain.
What's it take with us? Pitches it out, Clinton for three. We were right behind it. Back iron, broke off again. And another possession for the Phoenix. Third time lucky.
From Withers.
Great job. Now McCarron's a little mini break. Looking.
Look at the basket.
And I'm with you. You taught that in transition until somebody pulls you up. That's the case. Due to the contact, you got to look a bit more aggressive. And so here's the dump off. Good drive, and then that's a good cut from McCarron because Dusty Hatters had nothing. Unless you go corner to corner, baseline to corner, the stat man's to get hard, fellas. So the last time that two players had 14 points in the first quarter of a game, February 2008, that would be Julius Hodge, the LA 36ers, and Rod Bizarre from the Slingers. That's a good sort of throwback there.
A little risky mentioning Julius Hodge in an Adelaide 36ers game, and it is what it is. As Preston was able to little fade away and get that to go.
I didn't think about that.
Come on, step man.
36ers by three. Early moment, second quarter, McCarron just pokes it away from Mumford and it leads to a wide open two-hand. Little half softer. Felt he could have given us a little bit more. Vince McCarron, the superstar. He's able to get it going and the lead's out to 5.
Well, he's one where right now we're seeing, TJ Brogan's not here. He's going to play as much of the game until he needs a sub. Little wrap around slut from behind it. Another easy two. Still having impact. He's got the 3 assists. On rebound, 4 points. Good start to the second quarter for the 36ers. And no surprise, Mitch Creek will check back into this game.
There's Jamie Berlin, who you would have played against, Coach, in your illustrious career, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think I played against Bowman, yes. The hard-nosed point guard who's always up and in. I remember him always trying to steal the ball. But since he's a little fella like yourself, I just take him to the box.
Yeah, I a mouse in the house.
House in the house.
Here's Mumford, a great little pocket pass. That's going to count. Bairstow didn't get there in time. Ashley's been able to get it to fall, and now he'll go to the foul line and stand from 15 feet to get through the old-fashioned way.
Just very close. And again, if you think about coaches challenging these ones, you got to remember that the replay center will break it down frame by frame, slow it right down. And if you're just moving the slide, it's going to lose the challenge. Yep. And for James Miller right now, you think they've got 2 games to try and leave this with 100% coaches challenge success rate and go into the history books.
How about New Zealand? Shimini just going the challenge in the first 2 minutes on Tuesday.
2 minutes of the game.
Ashley's able to get it to go. First 3 points, or the first points. That's a bad, lazy pass. And Glennon's able to pick the Daniel Johnson pass straight off. And now an opportunity for the Phoenix to tie it up. Mumford got in the air. Ashley, not sure he had to dive. Either way, it keeps it alive.
So the ball's wet.
Shot clock into single figures. 14 in the first quarter for Craig. Can't get that to go.
Just another offensive
rebound. Mumford uses the left to finish it.
That is way too many offensive rebounds.
They're only credited for 5. It feels like they've had 10. They're getting different and better and more opportunities. It's led to 9 extra shots. And it's hard to beat a team, Coach, when they keep getting opportunity after opportunity to score.
Especially the Phoenix, who have all that scoring power. You cannot give them 2 or 3 shots at a time because this is going to happen.
All time at 31. Phoenix had the last 5 after the 36ers scored the first 6 of the second stanza. Kyle Landon speaking to his charges before head coach Simon Mitchell has his say.
He's going to curve you.
We've got a reverse, DHO, back there, take he's got Brandon, someone's going to come for a reverse. He's going to Brandon's going to reverse. Okay. Cool. Right here's got 32. Okay. point right here. Win-win. Right there, okay. And guys, got a rebound out of the 32. 2 passes, count them out. Count them out.
Keep an eye on their defensive set here. Started the zone match up after a certain number of passes, but in return, Melbourne Adelaide 36ers right now. They're playing a bit of good basketball on defensive end. You've got to secure the rebound. You've got to reward yourself for all your effort you're doing on the defensive end. You can't have to, you play 24 seconds of a shot clock, okay, they've taken a rush shot, then you've got to play defense again. So they're going to make you pay.
6 turnovers. I've given up 5 offensive rebounds, although it does feel like more, as I said. And we're knotted away at 31. They're giving Phoenix opportunities, and yet they're still right in this game as the Phoenix extend the pressure a little bit.
I think the one thing that sticks out in that way are the assists, 9 assists in a quarter and a beat here, which means they're passing, they're just sharing the ball.
Led by Mitch McCarron.
That's just not all.
Good effort alive, Ashley. Second opportunity, and in the end, it's a nice little finger roll by Cam Glidden. To go courtside to John Casey.
Thanks, Cam. Yeah, I was just listening in with the Adelaide huddle during that timeout, but my attention was drawn to Cam Bairstow, who was in an earnest conversation with the team doctor, and he has now disappeared into the change room. So not a good sign for the 36ers now that Cam Bairstow has gone into the change room, obviously for some treatment. Just getting back to Jamie Pillman, what a tough day it's been for him. He was at the funeral of his mother-in-law this afternoon in New South Wales and had to charter a flight back here to get him back in time. So our condolences go out to Jamie Pillman and his wife Tracy for the sad passing of her mother. But a big night for Jamie Pillman. I asked Judd Flavel pre-game if he had any advice for him because he had filled in for Simon Mitchell in the past, and he said he doesn't need any advice. I coached against him in the New Zealand NBL where he was Coach of the Year, Jamie Pillman, at Nelson. He said he knows his stuff, he'll be fine.
Thank you, Case.
Well, started well here.
He has.
Sixers, they've just got to tighten up on the offensive glass.
Broke off. Can't finish it.
That's not good news, Cam Bairstow. Hopefully, that's just a little bit of treatment and get him back out there because he has been that one shining light for the Adelaide 36ers this season.
4-point lead for the Phoenix, 9 of the last 9 for Southeast Melbourne. Led a 2-man game with Mitch Creek. Great pass. Not much he can do. Great pass came Glenn. Mitch Creek gets a full head of steam. He's able to use his left, lay it in. The last 11 for the Phoenix. He's got 16 to lead all scorers, and the lead is 6.
Starting to pick them apart in the half court, just a screen and roll. Everything's opening up. And then you got some shooters. Cam Glidden, they've dodged a few bullets. Cam Glidden had some open looks. But Ryan broke off Cam Glidden, they're going to draw a lot of attention.
I'm actually impressed with Ashley being able to stay on the floor for 11 minutes.
No, don't go too early. See, Dave knows ready to check in the game to give him a bit of a spell because he has played that long without picking up a foul.
Creek. Mumford. Sotto had a really nice start to this game. Talking about nice starts to the game. He's got 14 in the first quarter. That's going to count.
Oh, it looked like in the end he just heard the whistle and threw it up. It looked like it was going to count. It was continuation when the foul was called. One of the slowest in and out you'll see. There's the foul, picked it up. And in the end, it looked like he really wasn't even trying to make it. He was just going to throw it at the hoop because he thought it was foul on the floor. But that is always going to count.
Nice. I don't know if it's always going to count. Some of the continuation rules do confuse me occasionally, but it always should count.
Right.
I don't like it. This man is hot. 14, including 3 straight threes in the first quarter. He's got 16. And he's going head-to-head with his former teammate Mitch Creek right now. He's got 17. It's fun to watch when the best players in the league are any stop an aggressive move as Mumford takes it right into the teeth of the Adelaide 36er defence and earns himself a couple of freebies.
Trouble. Or if they need somebody who's really good at guarding ball screens, he's exceptional, one of the best in the league, big man guarding ball screens. Simon Mitchell trusts to throw him out there. He'll have his little impact.
Just lends itself again to how deep Southeast Melbourne Phoenix is. 2 years ago, he was outstanding, Dane Pinot. Last year, cruelled by injury. And now sitting behind some very talented big men and adding to the depth of this Southeast Melbourne franchise. King, free, now. Straight on, that's what he has to do. Malave King, the next start. His first points of the night, that lead is down to 2.
There he is.
There he is, Dane Pinot. On cue or not,
On cue.
It's like a broken record.
Let me tell you something. That won't be the only offensive rebound Dane Pinot gets tonight. Believe that.
The issue is, no matter where the ball goes, he's going to have a knack to get there, or just at least create a contest that if you don't come up with it the first time, it'll spill into someone else's hands.
We're seeing a more aggressive Xavier Mumford tonight as well than recent weeks, as Daniel Johnson can't get it to go. But they're putting heat on the rim, this Phoenix team who are so offensively talented. Led by this man. Spins on the carry, takes the bump, and they don't count.
Quick's on another. He's
A bit of a mission here.
he's on a mission. Yeah.
It's for Karen screaming, he didn't do a whole lot wrong. So, they call it timeout here. I'm not sure if there's a challenge coming. You wouldn't want to challenge this because what are you going to say? You're going to save one potential point, and it's not like Mitch McCarron's in foul trouble. So, again, just a chance that right now they're going to be thinking, what can we do to stop Mitch Creek? Because he's got 18 points, 8 of 11, and when he has the ball, he's scoring.
Well, what do you do?
You got to send a double out. You got to fall out there to make someone else beat you.
Talk us through this, coach. This is the night that Mitch Creek's had already.
Look, strong drive to the basket, dunk. That's the plays that get it going. Then you knock down a 3. No hand in the face. You can't afford that. Another 3. Back it up. Just use his sprint over the top. He's in that move where he's being aggressive.
He is, and we spoke about it off the top. You said those couple of threes earlier that really got him rolling, and has added another string to the Mitch Creek bow, which now makes him, if not the most dangerous player in the league, in that group of 2 or 3 that can lead their team to a championship.
Well, there's a few of those, especially in the league right now. But what's good about this, I mean, we highlighted the concerns of the Adelaide. They don't really have a matchup for him one-on-one. And they know that, okay, Daniel Johnson might be starting on him. They're not going to put him back to the basket on the block to try and back down Daniel Johnson. They're going to send him in a pick and roll where Daniel Johnson has to show or do something else. And then you see there he's getting open because the rotating guy is either a small guy or it's a big Cam Best or Kai Sotto, where Mitch Creek takes. I reckon Adelaide 36 fans know exactly what that is in the past few years.
I think you're also breathing a sigh of relief right now as Mitch Creek takes a well-earned break. 19 points, leads all scorers, and that lead is 7.
And he's gotten a little bit more consistent from the 3-point line, so he's added to his.
Well, Mumford had it for a split second, goes straight back to Dent. Turnover's been a concern. 7 in the first half for Adelaide. We're able to get away with one there. Stagnant offense.
Now,
I know what you're going to say right now, Coach.
I don't want to seem like I'm picking on Mitch because I love Mitch Creek. If you got a 5-man on you, I'm sorry, Mitch McCarron. If you got a 5-man on you, you got to go at it.
3 on 2. Here is McCarron. Oh, beautiful pass. Flicked the first one, shoveled the second one. Harris is able to lay it in.
He needed to have that because you're spot on, Coach. He had Dane Pinot on him and tried to call the ball screen up from Byron Harris, who had Mumford guarding him, and then realised that would have been a straight switch, and that's not what you want. Waved him off. But then didn't even test the waters, didn't even try and get around Dane Pinot. And in the end, that didn't really came off that play. Aside from we see that they call it a boomerang, so if you've got the big on you, you quickly kick it off, you kick it to Sunday depth, you take 4 steps back to the halfway line before they can try and get Dane Pinot off. Mitch McCarron throw it back to him with the head of steam downhill. So quick 1-2, didn't even try that.
With this back in, Harris takes a seat. Glennon. The upper. Got it. Great pass, Cam Glennon.
Beautiful ball music.
Couple of threes on the night for Leafa. A wonderful story. Breakout year last year, continued it this year as a starter for the Phoenix. Here's Johnson. Here is McCarron. Completely just grabbed Daniel Johnson on the ball screen.
Simon Mitchell will love that last possession. Good for Graham Cam Glidden. Solid. 4 from 3, 1 5 from the field. Got Mohammed King in the air. Just a jump shot, a regulation jump shot. Knows he hasn't been shooting the ball well, so finds Isaiah after he's knocked down a 3 in the corner. And he rewards him.
Leads at 8. We'll get into the last 90 seconds of the first half. Hannahs. Shot clock's down to 6. Has to take Leafa right. Ungainly. Never really looked like a great D by Leafa, and now he has the bill as we head the other way. Broke off. And it's stripped by McCarron. Now we've got a little 4-on-2. 36ers just a little nonchalant there. Now it's McCarron in the post. Couldn't get it to go. No friendly home roll there, the Copes.
At least he took a shot.
The Phoenix. Through Adnam. Good for the 2-for-1. Glidden. That's down. Great pass, Kyle Adnam.
Well, Adam does that so well. Little snake off the ball screen, creates the separation, doesn't force anything, and what he did is just make Mitch McCarron turn his head. Strong side corner, everybody knows you've got to stay home, especially if it's a shooter. Oh, block off. Easy 3. This is out to 11 points.
Shot clock is off. Ditch down to 5. Head down, gets deep, tries to get Pinot in the air. Did a good job, but Pinot was able to get the palm to it. It'll stay with the 36ers baseline, 2.3 on the clock.
Looks like there might have been a little foul when he got on the ground earlier.
That's no different to the Mitch McCarron calls the other end.
Well, exactly right, because you see, Graham Pinot left the floor before Sunday Detch. I think they might have touched on a little bit. It was clean after that. 2.3 on the clock. What have they got to end the half?
Hannahs curls, couldn't get it to him. Now it gets it to him, gets inside to him. But one way went the other way, gets a little hit. And Dusty Hannahs right as the time and the clock expired. 0.8 on the clock. He's able to get it to go.
Simon Mitchell would not be happy with that.
That's where you go from pretty positive halftime speech to just starting off with maybe 1 or 2 sentences not fit for air.
Couple of bad words.
And this is Hannahs. Gets it to go for the 3-point play. Little deflection game, Adelaide half a sniff, and that ends a very entertaining first half. Adelaide Entertainment Centre, that man has been incredible. Mitch Creek has been hot, he's got 19. Daniel Johnson has 17. And it's been a very fun game to watch.
Well, talking about Simon Mitchell in that last play, they had a really good second quarter, but just having a few words to say about how they ended that last play. Good awareness by Daniel Johnson. Smithfield was ready to throw the quarterback pass. It was a late heave. And in the end, Phoenix really dominant quarter, going at halftime with an 8-point lead.
Let's get down to John Casey, I believe, who's with the man of the first half.
Mitch Creek, wow, what a first half, man. 19 points, and you're right back in your old stomping ground. You got lots of fans in the house. You're turning it on.
Oh, look, it's a lot of fun. You know, me and DJ were talking a bunch of smack back and forth, but having a bit of a laugh with it. It's nice to play and have him out there on the court with me, although we're not on the same team anymore. It's just nice to feel in a bit of a rhythm. I've been shooting like absolute crap lately, so it's nice to see a pretty go through.
Seesawing affair. They were up 5. You've been up 11. What's key in the second half?
Oh, like breakdowns on that last play, like we got to be solid. You know, 2 seconds left, make a catch outside and shoot a contested shot without fouling. We've jumped 3 or 4 times. DJ's had a couple chippies and stuff like that. If we just got to be disciplined without fouling, it'll be okay.
Always great to see you in Adelaide.
Thanks, guys.
Mitch Creek there at half-time in the southeast Melbourne Phoenix enjoying an 8-point advantage. It was out to as many as 11. Sixers grabbed some momentum right on the buzzer there, but it's 50-42. We've got more for you from the Adelaide Entertainment Centre in just a moment.
Jamie Pearlman pretty much is stating the obvious that the rest of the country is seeing right now, that if you stop Mitch Creek, you have a much better chance of winning this game. And here he is, guarded by Withers.
And that's easier said than done because when you filled with 19 points and a half,
Problem is, you put too much focus on Mitch Creek, the shooter's going to get open, and we're going to have to get Case to chase up because no Cam Bairstow to start this second half. Whether that's a bit more of a matchup, I do like Todd Withers. He's probably the only one who will have a chance to guard Mitch Creek one-on-one, trying to match his athleticism. But Cam Bairstow, we know we're now with the injury, as Case mentioned in the first half, went back to the locker room. It's going to make things very difficult for their shining light.
That's tough. Great pass. Mumford on the bounce.
How do you guard Mitch Creek? And a lot of it is, if you try and double him, as you mentioned, Cobes, they've got shooters. They will make you pay. What's been really good from the Phoenix, this is what I think they have to do more. We've seen over the last couple of weeks, when the game gets close, there's a clutch moment, they put the ball in other people's hands. It's got to go through Mitch Creek, good backdoor pass there. And let's let him make the play. He's not going to shoot every time, but let him make a decision. A lot of the times he makes the right one. That's what you want.
Yeah, he's smart enough to make that right decision. He's not going to force anything. If you're open, he'll get you the ball. The thing I love about him is he's being aggressive. When he's aggressive, they look like a whole different team.
Here he is again. Takes a little takes a butt, takes a hit, finishes it. 3-point play opportunity. Jamie Perlman, not 2 minutes ago, was saying, Mitch Creek, we've got to stop him. And the first 2 plays of the third quarter, Mitch Creek has proven, right now, you got no answer.
The guy's not big enough.
Tom Williams, the one they started this quarter with, and even still, I think Mitch Creek's smart enough to take Tom Williams off the dribble. And what really, for other teams, and talking about getting to the final series, the finals matchup for Mitch Creek is going to be the one because every fourth spot is a really good matchup for him. You've got Jack White from United, Xavier Cooks from Sydney, Nick Moore from Perth.
Absolutely.
So the 4 centers it, Pete.
Illawarra's going to have a chance. I mean, Illawarra's going to have a chance. We're going to have to go on the road, but a road, as I think Coach and I mentioned, gives you a chance to really come together.
Stets can't finish it. McCarron on the rebound. I believe the 4 is set. I know the coach. As Stets is able to get it to go. You said on the jump earlier tonight that you think the 4 I'll know the way it
stays the way it is because Sydney have a very easy run in the second part of the season. I shouldn't say easy, but easier than most.
Not sure it's a big turnaround from you because Gazy told me you tried to chase people.
No, I don't know what's going on. Gazy, I don't know what's going on with Gazy, but
well, the top one, not as is. Illawarra's 4th right now. But again, all these games are going to be crucial.
He's your boy, Gazy, Coach.
Well, sometimes Gazy can say the wrong thing. Never say I never wanted Rupert fired. I just said he was under pressure, and so he was until his dynamic guard came in, and now everything's fine.
Good time out here. Jamie Melvin.
Contender. That is huge. The lead is 13. Leaf has hit another 3. He's 3 from 3 for the land of plenty.
Turner, a little long rebound. No one's really back for safety. And Brian Bronkoff does what we keep talking about. Adelaide needs to in transition. Draws the defense. Shooters space the floor. Someone's going to knock it down. 53% from the field for the Phoenix.
John Casey's courtside case.
Yeah, thanks, Cam. Look, I've been in speaking with the Adelaide 36ers bench. Now, the bad news for 36ers fans is that Cam Bairstow will not return for the remainder of the game. They are just doing some further tests on him. We saw the doctor speaking to him when he came from the floor. The physio has also been speaking with him as well. I've just spoken to the team doctor who tells me that he is not in a position where he's going to be able to come back on the floor for the rest of the game.
And just while we got your case, what is the injury?
Look, at this stage, they declined to explain exactly what is wrong with Cam Bairstow. They've just said that they just need to get some further tests done on him. And that's all the information that I was able to get.
Thank you, Case.
That is the worst case scenario for the Adelaide 36ers. We spoke about it at the top of the game. Why he was the last signing in the off-season was because he has the ability to pick up some injuries that, if they're declining to say what it is or what it could be, and you really, if you're an Adelaide 36ers fan, hoping this is not something that's going to keep him out of action for a while. But really, the consistent shining light of a tough first half to the season, just his energy, his effort, looked like he was just back to his old ways.
Well, if he's not healthy, then that's when you look at another import. You got to bring someone else in to help him out. He didn't look like he was agreeing to go talk to him.
No, that's...
Body language was saying, I can go.
There was a robust discussion. The leads are 13. Last 5 points for Phoenix. Now the 36ers. Need to stay in touch here. Daniel Johnson guarded by Craig, the two hot men, the two former teammates. Two boys who have been talking smack to each other all night. Mumford came in for the double team. He got his hand caught in a cookie jar, and DJ will go to line for two.
Why? Mitch Creek just looking his own up and saying, don't do that. Look on. These guys are past teammates that know how to play each other. And Mitch Creek, that's still, it's going to be bread and butter for Daniel Johnson. But if he knocks that one down, you
live with it.
You live with it. But again, the stationary offense of the 36ers, Mitch McCarron didn't test the waters, kicked it over to Withers, who had Joe Chi at the three-point line, didn't even look to put the ball on the floor, try and get past the big fella. Just threw it to Daniel Johnson, who normally is automatic across his career from the free throw line, leaving a few points here.
Makes the second. He's 5 of 7 from the stripe tonight. He's having a huge night. 18 points, 14 in the first quarter. Gee, only played 4 minutes in the first half due to fouls. Wide open, let it fly. Off the back iron. Hannes, they need him to be more aggressive. That's Detch guarded by Chi. He's going to take it right and gets around him too easy. That's a nice move by Sunday Detch, which is exactly what you wanted Mitch McCarron to do, Pete Hawley.
Well, that ain't top with us when he had the ball on the rim. So Joe Chi is elite when he's around the NBL line, around the charge circle, his ability to change a shot, block a shot, alter on the defensive end. He's not that comfortable when you bring him out to the three-point line. And again, when you do get past him or put him at a disadvantage, you got to go into his body just a little bit to throw his timing off.
Fade away, too short. Now McCarron. Leads at 10. Last 3 points for the 36. He's trying to build some momentum. Kept alive by Hannes, but only to the hand of Mumford. 2-on-2. Great pass to Chi. Mumford, little flick pass. Thread the needle. Chi with the left hand throwdown, which isn't all that hard when you're as tall as he is, but the big man getting involved after a very minimal output in the first half.
And that's a great pass for two reasons. Great pass by seeing any fella on the floor, but you get the big guy involved.
Mumford again runs down the long rebound, beats Harris to it. Going to take it right at him.
And Mitch, good defense from Harris. See on the other end, Daniel Johnson was going to hand off to Mitch Creek and then call into a ball screen. But Daniel Johnson just likes to fly out of it instead of setting them. And what happens is Mitch McCarron had no advantage. Gets a little smooth pass. Joe Chi, well, trying to run the floor. But the problem is, if you're going to just fly out of the screens, like it's not really a slip, it's more of just a slide out of the screen. There's no advantage for the guard trying to turn the corner. Mitch McCarron to put his back to the basket where he's comfortable, likes to post up a lot.
Phoenix by 12. Detch takes a punt, couldn't finish it in the end. Creek. Great pass. Heard that from the effects line. Doesn't quite have the same ring when someone's got hold of your arm, but the big fella will go to line for two. Lobbed up to Chi v. Sotto, and that's
well, it also doesn't have as much when the third player is not even involved in the play. Yeah. It's the one saying it. McCarron just take our jobs.
That's funny though.
I do like the entertainment of which Mitch McCarron provided as Chi leaves that a little long. And all of a sudden, Hungry Jack's Burgers. Here we go. Chi makes a lot of Adelaide fans love him, regardless of the jersey he wears. There it is, Hungry Jack's free cheeseburger. South Australia, enjoy it. The code word is ball. Head to the NBL app to claim your free cheeseburger redeemable until 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Lead stays at 12. Sotto didn't get it to go.
Well, this is the time right now where Mitch McCarron does have to be aggressive. Daniel Johnson off the floor, no Cam Bairstow. Gilfamaya, Harris, Deck, Sotto and McCarron. I like it. Throw it down. Joe Chi. Throw it down to him and let him go to work.
John is joining us only in the 4 minutes of the first half for Chi with 2 early fouls. 6 points, 3 boards on the night.
And this is where they're going to be really potent defensively and offensively if they can start a foul trouble. Ashley and Chi playing together.
And off the cheek screen, got a wide open look, couldn't finish it. Sotto with the rebound, and now Adelaide with an opportunity to get it back within single figures. Sotto right at cheek, great defense. Great to see the 2 big men go at it. Here's Adnam. They'll renew the battle now. Chi, there's a double team. Oh, gets him in the air. Beautifully done. Takes the foul. Patience for Sotto.
Been around the league for so long. Really smart. Trying to get one back there. Joe Chi doing what Simon Mitchell was saying, trying to be straight vertical, and then right here, just that move knows he was trying to get the block. A little overzealous.
The big man hits the line. What a find by Southeast Melbourne Phoenix to get him in the off-season. Fit him in nicely. Works perfectly to the rules we have in the NBL, which is great. And he has been a revelation since the first time we laced him up in the Phoenix jersey.
Apparently he's an absolute superstar.
Right now, it's just putting to the good middle part of the first half of the season, adjusting to the fouls. Now he's starting to rack them up a little bit. The new player to the NBL takes some time to try and learn that, how it's officiated. Every single one.
McCarron no good. There is Chi. Rebound number 5 on the night. The lead's at 13. Tapped away. Mitch McCarron again from behind. Does it perfectly. And it leads to the exact same 2-hand dunk he did when he poked it away in the first half.
It's 3 dunks in the game for Mitch McCarron.
All 2-handers.
And that's his only points. 3 dunks, 1 for cut, and 2 breakaways.
6 points, 4 boards, 7 assists for Mitch McCarron.
Well, it's a Yorker. Throwing to the big fella's ankles. And there again, another tap, wrap around on Mitch McCarron. So if you're a guard right now, you got to know that if he's trailing on coming off the ball screen, he's going to have a crack at that. So now the afterwards, a good little pick and roll. It's either going to be a bounce pass that comes up to the or Ashley, or throw it up.
11-point lead. 2.5 minutes to go. Adelaide Entertainment Centre Friday night. Hungry Jacks NBL. Here's Jamie Perlman.
Right down there. DJ's coming in the screen. Taker coming off with a solid. DJ's out. Find DJ out. 5-man leads. This is a weak side guard. If you literally just flip it up in the air, Torres is going to fucking throw that thing down there. Okay? If you drive, we've got that number 4, weak side windows with Mount Macca, and then they kick it there. Simple basketball right now. There's some defensive end, okay? Defensive end right here. We've got a lift. Right there. Toughness, physicality.
Jamie Perlman, standing coach, and doing a bloody good job urging his troops. And the word from Mayor Pete Hall, let's get it under 10 leading into the 4th quarter.
We're hanging around, haven't let it blow out at any point since Phoenix really started to turn it on in the 2nd quarter offensively. Good answers back. Let's see if they can execute. Draw something up out of a timeout. Potentially it could be some sort of lob here for Sotto. they can execute against this Phoenix defense, who would not be surprised if they go some sort of zone, which they are. That's what we normally do after a timeout. You know they're drawing up the play.
Dufemar in for his first minute, straight to his bucket. Oh. Brandon Ashley. Was able to snatch the rebound. Cheese taking a break. Smith Milner in for his first time in the third quarter. So only a small glimpse of the Twin Towers playing together. Been cold tonight. Sotto, great job to keep it alive. He's been active. It should become the norm every time he's got on the court. 2.6 boards tonight. There it is.
Great pass from Daniel Johnson.
That's what he can do. Just hangs around the rim.
That's under 10. Sotto has 4. Turangi. They've come out of that timeout aggressive.
You've got to get your speed back in there because the offense is going to be stagnant here. Speaking of that, he's heading to the bench.
Shot clock's down 8. Dufamar's going to need to be creative here. Hands it up to Sunday Dechu. Has to launch it from 25 foot. That was a little bit short. Turangi.
That's always going to be an offensive foul and a rebound. So this is what they put on us. Clean up the defensive glass for us, and then big to big lob. Good connection here. Daniel Johnson. It's not up. We'll go get it. And that offensive foul on the rebound from Turangi. You're face guarding. You feel like you're getting face guarded as a big. All you got to do is fake like you're trying to get your arms up to go through. It's always going to be a foul.
Didn't mind it from Daniel Johnson either. After he just nonchalantly laid it in, he did ask for the continuation, even though it was 5 seconds later. He's been great tonight, Daniel Johnson. That first quarter was scintillating. Giving Adelaide a real chance tonight against Southeast Melbourne. Dufemar, the step back, no good. And Mitch Creek re-enters the fray, the urging of Leonard Copeland, and is able to grab the rebound. Is Adelaide. 2 for 1 for the Phoenix. Comes up short there. And we've got a 7-second differential.
That lady just hanging around.
That's what you got to do. Playing on the home floor. Just hang around. Make a couple of plays in that fourth quarter. Make Phoenix have something to think about.
Johnson right at Creek, forced it. No good. The last shot will be for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Adam. What a pass. Perfectly handed off. Ashley's able to lay it in. And the lead is restored to double figures right on 3/4 time. Lifesavers we all know and love. Get to your supermarket right now. All right.
Big first couple of minutes here.
Huge.
For the Sixers.
Firstly, you got to find a way to stop Mitch Creek. And secondly, McCarron has to get hot. He has to start shooting the ball looking at the basket.
Knocks it down. 9 points, 4 boards, 7 assists for Mitch McCarron. And now Dufemar gets in the passing lane. And just misses. Was worried out by Mitch Creek.
Well, that would have been a 6-point game. Really good, perfect start. The more you want, 3 more, and then a breakaway too. But in the end, Mitch Creek does not even contest.
Adnam hasn't been hot as last week. Tried to find Turangi, who was cutting or heading for the rebound. His ditch, the other end. That's not a great pass, but they're going to hold on to it. And now the 36ers can cut into this lead. It hasn't been this close for a little while. Down to 8. Ditch, shot clock at 4. Has to get to work. It has to do it now. Not going to get it up. Right to Ashley.
Well, great defense. When another one of those possessions where they just walked around the 3-point line, nobody went attacked. Nobody put their head down and tried to make a play at the rim. They just kind of passed the ball around, hoping that something would break down. Even the worst defense in the league is not going to break down and no one test the waters.
Great deal of bad offense. I think it was bad offense.
I believe.
Three. Cooled off a little little bit after his big night last Saturday. And again, another opportunity. Fourth time lucky for the 36ers to cut into this lead of 8.
And it took for my games minutes now. Chuck Aaron's played the whole game. Where do you see Mojave King? It's half a season ago. If you say you're going to bring an import in, I think if Cam Bestow's out for a little bit longer, they'll definitely look at that. They probably have no choice.
Mojave's an interesting one for me. He has the ability, he has the size, he can shoot the ball, but and he's given the opportunity. I just don't know if he's ready right now. It'd be great to see him play another year and play major minutes.
That's a little bit of a brain fade there from actually. What I think when you talk about coming from the top hands to the Adelaide 36ers, they're trying to break into a line. Now, you're not going to be, we're talking about the next stars around and get Josh Key, that was the comparison last season. You're not going to be one that has the ball in their hands a lot. So where can you find a point of difference where if it's CJ Brown, how do I not play you? I think for him, his athleticism, he's on the defensive end. Be a guy who can lock somebody up, who would come out there, slide your feet, make life really tough. Where CJ Brown thinks, okay, we need someone. Who's going to be the one? Who can I trust that besides Sunday Detch, who's going to take a lot of that responsibility? He needs a break. We're going Jalen Adams. Just go and try and make Jalen Adams' night a bit tough for a few minutes here or there. Then you slowly work in your offense and start to work out from there.
If they go with an import guard, which has been rumoured, not to be locked in, of course, in the Cam Bairstow situation might change that a little bit. We may not see Martin Mojave coming again this year. But legitimately, because Dufamai is in front of him, just. You've got McCarron, you've got Hannahs, who's coming off the bench. Now you've got Sunday Detch, who's one of the best defensive players in the league. It's very hard to see how it goes. Prokop, straight at the bucket, lays it in with the left. John Casey is courtside. Case, what do you got?
Just further to that conversation, it's really hard for Mojave King to get minutes as well because Mitch McCarron has just subbed out of the game for the first time tonight. He played all 30 in the first 3 quarters and the first 2 minutes here of the fourth. He just sat down for his first rest.
That's going to be hard for any game. When you talk about the breakdown, where the minutes going to come from, we're trying to have that conversation with Michael Frazier in the wing spot for the Perth Wildcats. McCarron plays near 40. That rolls out a lot of minutes when you've got an import guard coming off the bench and Dusty Hannahs.
Comes off his leg. He wants to go upstairs and challenge it. He's pointing towards Simon Mitchell.
Yeah.
He's not happy.
He's not going to get it. Because coach something in the outlet. Okay, I can't just trust players every single time.
Well,
he might have
he should listen.
Put Simon Mitchell down the other end of the floor, doesn't get a view of it himself out of travel.
They turned it over 7 times in the first half, Adelaide. Only 2 times since. And this will be frustrating for Adelaide fans, Coach, because they are right there. They are within striking distance. But the first 3 minutes of this last quarter has some frustration attached to it.
It does, but look, you're still in the game. You're down 6 points. You're down 2 baskets. Just play smart basketball and get a good shot.
Travel as well. Just see his back foot.
Personally, I'm going through Daniel Johnson. Well, I'm going to give Daniel Johnson the ball in the box. I'm going to give him the ball up top. I'm going to give him the ball on the wing and let him go to work.
Coach, you start the game 3 of 3 from 3, and you've taken 1 3 since and you missed it. Would you ever have been in that situation?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm going to give you that.
Dead. 4 of 3.
That would make things very interesting. They didn't know to stop here. The Sixers doing a good little run. They're steadying the tide with Mitch McCarron sitting on the bench.
Greg turned the first one there, gets around Johnson, lobs it to Ashley. Couldn't get it to go, and now they can push Adelaide through Dusty Hannahs. 2-on-2 as DJ feeds. Cupping, that's going to be a foul. Simon Mitchell desperate for the travel, but Dusty Hannahs did enough to use the body, use a little upright fate, a little Euro step, and he'll go to line for 2.
Good take here from Dusty Hannahs. Defense wasn't set, and well, definitely was a lot of ball that first time from Ryan Blockoff. That's not where the foul was called. The foul was called later. So maybe there was just a little bit, and again, so where the coach's challenge, if you get a little bit of hand, so when they break it down frame by frame, your hand touching their hand or wrist, it's going to be enough to lose the challenge.
Which is what happened with New Zealand and the Finn Delaney call on.
You get all ball, and then you just get a little bit of hand after the ball had already been poked out, which Finn Delaney did. You're going to stay with the call on the floor. Really
Lead
good.
was 4. They're right there, the 36ers. A big scalp. They can see against Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who's in second on the Amy ladder. Another turnover.
A bucket here. As we said in the third quarter, just got to hang around, make a big play or two in the fourth quarter. The fans will get involved, and you get the Phoenix something to worry about.
McCarron back in for Dufamai. Here's Hannes. From the Bunnings logo. Could have lifted the roof off the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Was to no avail.
That wasn't the smartest shot to go out on the bench.
And Humford makes him pay at the other end.
100%.
Spend those little breakdowns where, okay, they're going a bit of a run. And they get some stops. What do you get down the offensive end? Well, Daniel Johnson's got to touch the ball. He's got 22 points, he's missed 3 shots. Got to find a way to get the ball in his hands. There we go.
Here he is, V Creek. 2 hot men on the night. Right. Shot, half sky, half.
It's not rocket science. Comes through. Those two have been going at it all night.
Creek can't reply. Another opportunity. We tick under 5 minutes. Down 4. Hannes at Liafa. Great defense, Liafa.
Standing defense, Isaiah Liafa. That's why he's out there in the big moments. One-on-one defense.
But the smarter teams will slow it down and go back to Daniel Johnson. Just made a basket. Have a look at him. He's good enough where he won't force it. He'll pass it out if something becomes open, right?
Yeah, I sense a little bit of frustration there for Dusty Hannes. That's that deep 3 ball got too involved, but Daniel Johnson didn't get too involved.
Here he is. Plays it out on Mitch Creek, stares him in the eyes and says, I'll give you a long 2 from 18-4.
I think we need to go out and we need more coaching there, bro.
It is not rocket science. You've got a man who's missed 3 shots on the night.
Phoenix by 2, 69-67.
Hey, this is Mr. Karen from the Adelaide 36ers. Rotate is really possible.
And what a night it's been for Daniel Johnson. He's got 26. And he's single-handedly dragging his Adelaide 36ers team back into this contest in a game they so desperately need to win.
26 on 73% shooting, though, Cam.
We know how efficient he's been for a long period of time. This is going to be a fun last 4 minutes and 43 seconds. This is fun. Friday night, Hungry Jack's NBL around the country. 2 teams desperate for a win. One to stay in the top 2. One to stay in contact with the top 4 and continue to resurrect their season. And they've been led by 2 of the superstars, Daniel Johnson with 26. Mitch Creek has been brilliant at the other end.
The smartest team will win this game. The team that goes down the next 2 or 3 minutes and plays smart basketball should cooperate with the win.
Well, both teams right now. Mitch Creek for the Phoenix, Daniel Johnson for the 36ers. They don't have to shoot the ball every time, but they need to be involved in every single offense. They both have 24 points. I don't know whether they said anything in the opening tip saying, let's just have a night.
That'll count. That will definitely count. Liafa takes the bump, kisses it off the window. 3-point opportunity here.
And I reckon that was a play drawn up where they were trying to get something as a misdirection. Isaiah Liafa, they knew Dusty Hannes. Let's go like Dusty Hannes here. Just puts the Jets on. And trying to have everything looking like it was coming across the top. So Dusty Hannes was a bit out of his stance. And gets ripped baseline.
Leads at 4. Liafa's into double figures with 11. We spoke about NBL Overtime, or on NBL Overtime Tuesday, about Mitch Creek needing to be the closer for his team, Bulls. He gets an opportunity tonight. So McCarron gives it straight to him. He's going to back him in, gets wherever he wants to go to, but good D in the end. But Chi there, great D again, Mitch McCarron. Makes amends for the turnover. Hannes, met at the rim by Chi, and he says, not today.
He says, no, sir.
That's what Joe G does do well. Protects the rim. And you're right, Mitch Green being the closer doesn't have to shoot the ball every time, just has to make a play.
She spoke about teams being smart here.
There we go.
What's going on, Cam?
I'll tell you what's going on, Coach. If Adelaide are smart, they give the ball to that man who's got 29, and the lead is 1.
8 rebounds, 4 assists, been outstanding.
Mumford and Johnson. Great D, Sotto, and now a chance for Adelaide to take the lead for the first time in a long time.
Get it back to him. Get it back to him.
Hannes. Flutter is good.
In the front, Adelaide doing sixes. Look at that fourth quarter. We keep saying get the ball to Daniel Johnson, he just drive through the Kmart logo and say go get a bucket.
For the first time since early in the second quarter, Adelaide are in front. And then Hannes. Little isolation with Brokoff, able to get that to go. Here's Andem. Here is Green. Bully called for it. Little reverse clutch. Uses the right hand. It's able to finish it off the window. And Southeast Melbourne Phoenix snaps the lead right back.
Look, my broken record right now, Kim, it's not rocket science. You got one bloke with 26 points dominating at one end, one with 29 dominating at the other.
Ditch. Shot clock at 6. Spins into trouble, but what a great move. Not easy to spin it into Chi, you'll be able to get it over the outstretched arms. He did it there. This back and forth contest continues. Andem. Somebody says no.
I've been super impressed with Adelaide's ability to just hang around all game, make some big plays when they need to. All they got left in this last 2 minutes.
Hannes, 2-man game, pulls up 16-footer. Leaves along, Mitch Green gets rebound number 9. And we're under 2 minutes.
It won't be the worst thing right now. Bit of overtime for you Friday night.
Free basketball. Hashtag.
Oh, so he's relished the minutes that he's getting right now. 9 rebounds, got 4 points. But just been disrupting. Shots, got 3 blocks. Clogging up the keyway, toe-to-toe with Big Joe Chi. Okay, take it away.
Wow. Get the guy the ball. Let him go to work. We got some guys, we got some superstars going at it. We're going to have a meeting before the game and say, look, you get 30, I get 30.
That's exactly what I think they said at the top.
Well, I hope that the rest of the Adelaide team are involved in that meeting so they get him to pill here. Sotto straight on 3, got Chi in the air. Puts it on the floor, just hands it. Oh, no! But the hot man got it, he's got 31, they're all tied at 76.
Joe Chi, I'm not sure why you're jumping for joy at the top of the key. All kinds of pump fake. He's got to stay down. In the end, probably got a little lucky, but he's going to fall in the man's hands who's hasn't done a whole lot wrong tonight.
Andem scoreless tonight. Brokoff for 3. McCarron's able to keep along, but only to the hand of Creek. Andem, sit for 4 until that movement.
Wow. He makes some big-time shots, Kyle Andem. First points of the game, and they're huge ones. They're going to come down with that rebound. We spoke about it all night with the Adelaide 36. Great defense possession, long rebound, long shot from Ryan Brokoff. They just cannot secure the rebound. Kyle Andem wide open. I know he's missed a lot tonight, but it's still a layup, wide open.
It'll make more than this.
Absolutely.
Walks into it and goes bang. Now, this is set for a huge last 57 seconds.
What do you think should happen here, Cam? We've been talking about it the whole fourth quarter. What do you think should happen here?
I'd roll it into Daniel Johnson. You don't need a three.
And we've seen that in the last 2 weeks. We've seen a lot of teams just say, "Oh, we're down 3. There's more than just 5 or 6 seconds left. You've got a whole minute here. You definitely do not need a 3 ball. Get something good. Get him in some sort of offensive set. Again, you can use him maybe as a little bit of a diversion. Say, okay, let's put him into a ball screen. Maybe it's a pick and pop. They have to rotate.
I'm a simple man, coach, but I've got a theory on sport.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what sport it is, when the game's there to be won, you make sure your best players are involved and give them a chance to get the job done. Now, Mitch Creek, Daniel Johnson, I'm pretty certain right now they can shoot a full court shot. Can you? If you think you can do it in an NBL game, head to the NBL website, win pays to enter for your chance to shoot for $100 grand in the Latrobe Financial Sharp Shot. And don't worry, if you miss your first shot, you get a second go from half court for $50K. Go there right now. There's the website. Creek and Johnson, I'm going to say they do it right now. They are hot. And we are set for a wonderful last 57.8 seconds.
Let's see what they had drawn up. Daniel Johnson with 31 points and 10 of 13 from the field. Plenty of time left in this game.
Ditch, Carnival broke off. Hannahs. Shot clock at 7 is Ditch for 3. Sotto ran long, kept it alive. They'll get a reset. Hannahs, this is what they should have taken the first time at 2. Couldn't get it. Cheap at the board. And now Adelaide have a decision to make. There's about a 5.5 second differential. You played it out. And it looks like they can't.
So they're going to
Actually got.
now they're going to have to foul.
Yeah.
You would have 6.5 seconds differential. You get a stop to run down and just get a heat in. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one. But if they were going to foul, it should have been straight away. Because you've got 2 more to give, or 1 more to give here before they go to the line. They have no choice. It's got to be a couple of quick fouls. Legal fouls. No wrap-ups. No hugs.
Now you got a foul change straight away. There you go. Good call.
And now again, try and keep the ball out of Brockhoff's hands, Lear's hands, Kyle Adams' hands. Even Mitch Creek.
The way he's playing Mitch Creek.
This is Brandon Ashley coming in for Joe G.
Baseline ball for the Phoenix.
Probably for the flipper of all, no doubt about it. Brandon Ashley's been a bit shaky this year as well. That's why I was questioning it. But again, if you're the 36ers, can you get the ball funneled towards Brandon Ashley?
Great. He's going to go for a bucket. And that's a great play by Southwest Melbourne Phoenix. When everyone was expecting them to sing and foul, they zagged and laid it in. The lead is 5. And Adelaide have been valiant. But they've got 12.4 seconds now to come up with a miracle.
Well, it's going to be awfully tough. Had the opportunity. I love that Dustin Hannahs didn't try and force that deep 3. Got there to a floater. It's 3 of 11. He's had a tough night. Look at this. They're going to give you 2 points. Take it every single night of the week. So when you see that happen, Mitch Creek makes the play, and then someone just thinking, okay, I'll dribble the ball back out. You found me. 2 points are there. 2 points is 2 points. So they need a quick bucket here.
5-point lead. It has been an entertaining night.
36 is just one player in double figures. Daniel Johnson with 31 points, 13 shots. Sunday Dash had a tough night, 3 of 14. Sunday Dash, Dustin Hannahs, 3 of 11. Mitch McCarron, 4 of 8. Cam Best, used to 7 minutes going out with those injuries.
Mitch Creek trying to explain. Referee probably not paying great deal of attention. 5-point lead. All right, here we go. Can they conjure up a miracle here, coach?
It's going to be tough. 12 seconds is... why are you giving me that look, Obi?
Well, a quick 3 ball here, and then it'll be game on. No timeouts left.
You were part of something like this back in the mid-90s, that Magic Tigers game when you were able to...
12 seconds.
looking, and that.
Well, that's been 2 weeks in a row. If you remember the Sydney Kings, they lost that 2 timeouts and didn't get a good look at all. It looked like there was a lot of contact on Dusty Hannah's just trying to get open. And in the end, I think the referee might have realised, okay, we may have missed something there and left it because there was probably an 8-second inbound. Didn't get the ball in.
They gave themselves an opportunity at late.
They did.
They're going to fall a little bit short. They've got a tough one on Sunday as well. Ryan Brockhoff makes the first. He's up to 11. To go with 5 boards, throw a couple of assists in as well. And that will nearly do it for that man, Jamie Perlman, who has been great tonight, but his team will fall just a little bit short. Sunday that's long. And South East Melbourne Phoenix stay in the top 2 with a 7-point away victory at the